Hi friends, it's Deanna here today, and today I am working on the Colorblock Zip Suit swimsuit, and this version, I have done two different versions. This version is the one that has the zip up and the color blocked on the side. It's going to be color blocked for the top and the bottoms, and then the zipper on the front. I am not doing the shelf bra with this option, but I did do it with the other option that I have on the other video that we have on here. So if you want to do the shelf bra option, you can go ahead and check that one out. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. But before I get started, let me remind you about our fun fan giveaway of $50 Ellie and my gift certificate. And all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and comment below, and you will be entered for our giveaway, which we do monthly. So every month there's a new chance to win $50 Ellie and Mac, and you can buy all the patterns you want with $50. It's amazing. So another little tip that I want to give you before we get started is, if you're doing the color block option of this swimsuit, the best thing to do is to go ahead and pin your pattern piece to your fabric that you cut out, because there is a lot of names, and that is how you are going to be able to piece them together. It's kind of like a little fun puzzle. So after I pin them all together to my pattern piece, then I separate them by bikini top. At the top, it tells you either if it's part of the bikini top, or you'll say bikini bottom, because the actual name of the piece will say something like, this one says bikini outer C bottom. That doesn't mean that it's for the bottoms, because it already told you it's the bikini top. That means it's the bottom piece that goes on your bikini top. So the bottom and the top. So you have to make sure that you separate them and have them clipped together. That way you don't get confused. I almost said confounded, but I don't know if that even makes sense. So you want to make sure that you separate them first, and that's what I went ahead and did. I have my pile for my top, I have my pile for my bottom, and then I have them separated into what goes up top and then what goes at the bottom. That way I don't get confused. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and actually get started. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set up our lining. Now, obviously for the lining, you don't have to color block because it's just the lining. So I'm gonna grab my lining and I'm going to put it face up on my board. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes what's your face up and what's your face down on your lining. It's kind of the same way with fabric, that you can kind of tell a little bit if you kind of open it up a little bit. So it's all right. I have my shoulder seams up here, and I'm gonna grab my front and I'm gonna place it right on top, right sides together, matching that shoulder seam right here, and then matching that side seam right down here. So we're going to sew that shoulder seam and side seam right sides together, and we're gonna do that for both sides of it. I'm gonna pin it, and then I'm gonna go over to my sewing machine or serger, whichever you're doing, and we're gonna sew right at the top and right at the side. Once our liner is put together, we're just gonna go ahead and put it to the side for later. So we're gonna go ahead and start piecing together our sides. So first off, we're gonna grab our back outer C top. Okay, and the back outer C top, we're gonna place it right on top of the back outer C bottom. So here's the top and here's the bottom, and they're facing each other. So then now I'm gonna go ahead and tip it. Make sure that they're both facing up, right sides together at that raw edge right there. So we're gonna put them right sides together right there at the raw edge. And we're gonna pin, we're gonna sew that together, and then right sides together at that raw edge. These are both the same thing. This is the top part. This is the bikini top, back outer C, and back outer C top and back outer C bottom. Okay, so this is for the back of the bikini. And we're gonna do the same thing for the front. We'll sew there in a minute, but we're gonna grab our front pattern pieces This is the front outer B. Okay, as you can see, here's the armpit area. This is the front, and the bottom of the front as well. It's right there. Okay, as you can see, ooh, gotta make it right sides together. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and flip it right on top so it's right sides together. Right sides together. And we're gonna sew right there, right sides together. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew those. After I sew them, I'm gonna steam the seam up, and you can go ahead and top stitch if you want. If you don't want to top stitch, you don't have to, but you can steam and top stitch. All right, they have been top stitched and they are ready to go. Here's all my pieces. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm either gonna grab my back or my front. This is my front, as you can tell, because it's got two pieces. Make sure this is right here. See where it angles like that? You gotta make sure which one is your armpit seam and which one is your outer seam, your inseam. So you wanna make sure, I think I'm going the wrong way. So, nope, I was right. I'm pretty sure it's this way. And if you can't tell by just looking at it, don't worry. You can just grab your pattern piece and make sure. So I was right. This is the inside, here's the outside. So we're gonna grab our pattern pieces. This is, I have my backs and here's my front. And we're going to line them up at the outer raw edge. Where is my front? Here's my front. As you can see, here's my armpit area. So I'm lining them up on this side so that once I sew them and open it up, it's gonna be just like this. This is gonna be my area right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right on top and sew those raw edges. And I'm gonna do the same for both sides. I'm gonna do it for this side, and then I'm gonna do it for that side as well. And I'm gonna sew, open, steam, top stitch. And I'm gonna do it for the back as well. So here's my back. I'm gonna grab my piece. You can't, oh no, that's the back, that's the bottom. I mean, that's the front. Here's my piece right here. And we're gonna line up those raw edges right here on the side, on the edge, and sew. So I'm gonna do that for both sides. I'm gonna go sew. So we've put our bodice puzzle together, and now we're gonna just put the bodice front and back together, just kind of like we did with our lining. We're just going to align at the shoulders and then the side seams, and we're gonna sew that together, pin at the shoulders, pin at the side seams, and sew them together. And then we'll come back and attach that, put that liner and the outer together, sew our elastic on, and then we'll be ready for our zipper and we'll be almost done. It really isn't even hard. It's just a few little steps that you have to take. Sometimes I think we get overwhelmed when we looked at the finished product and we see all the steps that we have to take. But really, honestly, if we take it one small step at a time, then we realize, that wasn't even that bad. That was kind of fun. So, and then you end up with something super cute. So I can't wait. I'm gonna go ahead and sew those sides and those shoulder seams to put our bodice together. My bodice is put together. And now we're gonna go ahead and grab our liner. I guess I should probably take these pins off. We're gonna grab our liner and we're gonna put our liner, wrong side of our liner to the wrong side of our outer. That way, for the inside, you are going to encase those seams inside the elastic, inside the outer and liner. So then we're gonna pin all the way around. We're gonna pin all the way around the armholes. We're gonna pin all the way around the outer edge, and we're gonna go over and baste them together. And how I'm gonna baste them together is I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch on my sewing machine. So I'm gonna go ahead and baste them and put them together first, the wrong sides together, and then I'm gonna go over to my sewing machine and baste them together. So let's do that. All right, now that they're both all pinned together, we're gonna go over there and sew. Now we're going to grab our elastic and we're going to place it a 1/2 inch away from the edge on the top, and we're going to pin it a 1/2 inch away from the edge on one side and a 1/2 inch away from the edge on the other side. And we're going to pin it all on all the way, and we're going to do the same for our bottom elastic. So I'm gonna go ahead and pin it all the way down and do the same for the elastic at the bottom of the suit. All right, now I'm going to go over to my machine and baste that on with a zigzag stitch. Actually, before I baste that on, if you want to, you can go ahead and do the same for the arm elastic. You would zigzag stitch them first on the round and then go ahead and also get them pinned on the whole thing, around the whole thing, the arm, and then zigzag stitch them on. So let me go ahead and also put those on. All right, once we've sewn those together, those elastics, I'm going to mark my half on my elastic, and I'm gonna also mark my half on my bodice because it's not the same as your shoulder seam. So I wanna mark it on both, and then we're gonna go ahead and start pinning our elastic all the way around, just like we did our elastic on the bottom of the suit and on the top of the suit, wrong sides together. Attach it to the wrong side of the bodice, and then do the extra pin in the middle, or a quarter if you want to, and then do the other sleeve as well. All right, let's go to our sewing machine and top stitch these bands on. Here we are at the sewing machine. I am just using a stretch stitch on my sewing machine, and I am going to be attaching all of my elastic on the whole around on the sleeves and the top and the bottom. So let's do it. My elastic has been attached to my waistband, to my arms, and to my neckband. Now we're gonna go around the whole thing and just fold that down and top stitch it down. So if you wanna go ahead and pin it all down, so that way you get it nice and even the arms, just fold them down, and then you're gonna top stitch with your desired stretch method. You can do zigzag stitch, you can do double needle. I'm going to do my cover stitch. If you have a cover stitch, you can do your cover stitch. And we're just gonna go all the way around, tucking that elastic in and top stitching to encase it all the way around, both arms, our neck, and our bottom. All right, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our zipper, leave it closed, and we're going to figure out how much of the zipper we need. So I'm gonna start right at the raw edge. I'm gonna come to the raw edge and all the way up to where I'm going to end my zipper, okay? And I can go ahead and mark it. I already did a really thin line right there, or you can put a pin right there and mark it if you don't wanna write on your zipper with a pencil. But then you have to realize that you want it to be probably a half an inch higher than that. You want the tape to go. So right here is where your teeth are gonna end, but then you want your tape to be about a half an inch higher than that. So then I'm gonna go ahead and cut my tape about a half an inch higher than that. I did more than a half an inch because I'm always so scared I'm gonna cut it too short. Both sides should be the same length, so I'm just gonna use the same side for the other one. And honestly, like, you know, if you already have one side and you're just doing the same exact thing, you're just gonna go right over to the other side and cut, okay? So now my zipper is ready to be taken apart, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, if you wanna save the zipper stopper from your tape, you can go ahead and pull that one out as well and put it back on. But like I said, I don't really have a tool to do that, so I can't really do that. So I'm just going to go from here. And what you do is you use your pliers, and you latch on to your teeth, your zipper teeth. You latch onto that first one. You want to kind of latch onto the edge of it, not so much the front, but the edge, and you pull it right out. There's one off. And then I do the same to the other one and the next one. And there's the other one. Right off. And then the next one. It really isn't too bad as long as you grab like the tip of it. Sometimes I don't do the tip of it, so then it's harder to pull. There it is. Okay, and I'm gonna continue. Now what I like to do is when I get to the edge, obviously I'm gonna pull that last one out. I'm gonna trim the tape again to be, well, once I sew it on, I'm gonna fold it down and I'm gonna sew on it and then I'm gonna trim it. After I trim it, sometimes I like to burn the tape right there so it doesn't fray. So I'll use a little match and I just kind of burn that edge. I'm gonna continue to go ahead and pull all the teeth out of this tape until it's even and right to the mark where I made. All right, there are all my teeth. I pulled them all out. And there is my zipper right there. Make sure, as you can tell, mine is not quite even. So make sure that you got them evenly out. I think I need one more over on this side. So I'm gonna pull one more over on this side. You can remove the things now because I already know where I'm gonna go to. Okay. So now my teeth are evenly pulled out. I'm gonna grab my bodice and gonna put it right side up on my board. And I can separate my zipper now and it'll make things a lot easier to attach my zipper when I separate. My zipper is going to end up just like this. It's gonna end up face up, which means I'm gonna have to turn it face down. I'm gonna have to touch them right sides together, just like this on my suit for it to be sewn on. And then this side is gonna go flip, just like that, right on top of that side. So I'm gonna grab some of this tape. Now, the really cool thing about this hem tape or Wonder tape is that it's kind of sticky like tape, and you can place it right here on top of your suit, right at the edge. I'm gonna put this one aside. We'll just work with this side right now. I'm gonna tape it. My suit keeps sliding down, so I'm just gonna pin it right there. Okay, I'm gonna tape it right there at the edge of my suit. Okay. Kind of just trim it right there. and I'm going to grab my zipper. Now this is the way that it's gonna show later, but first we're gonna put it right sides together right here. Now to get that tape to activate, make sure it's nice and even right here, the most important part. To get that tape to activate, you're gonna use your iron and put some heat on it. Be careful you don't melt the teeth. So you just wanna kind of do it at the edge, kind of do it like where the tape is. I'll turn it this way so I can really show you. I'm just doing where the tape is, just lightly, okay? Then we're gonna go over to my sewing machine and sew it. We're gonna put this tape down right here, like this, so that way when we sew it on, the tape will get cut on there. Because then after we sew it on, we're gonna fold it out and top stitch. And then we'll trim that tape and heat it, okay? So I'm gonna go over to my sewing machine and sew it on first. To attach a zipper foot comes in really handy because it allows you to come really close to the zipper but not get on the zipper. So I love using a zipper foot. So if you have a zipper foot, that is the best thing to do. I'm going to go ahead and you can go ahead, either fold that tape down now or fold it afterwards and then top stitch it. Either way will be fine. I want to fold it now and then I'll fold it again once I top stitch it, because then that way it kind of has like a double stitch on it, okay? I'm going with just a straight stitch. I'm kind of going to pull this zipper right here, that way I can kind of move it out of the way as I'm going. You see how that zipper foot kind of comes right along the edge of my zipper, but not on top of it. So it allows me to come really close to my zipper, but that's about it. When I get to my zipper, I'm gonna pull it out of the way and then continue all the way to the bottom. When I get to the bottom, I'm gonna do my back and forth right here. And my zipper is on. Once my zipper has been sewn on, I'm gonna do the same for the other zipper side, to the other side, but then I'm gonna fold it out just like so, and I'm going to top stitch my zipper. This is really cool too. You can move your zipper foot to the other side, because now we're gonna be going the other way. We've got our zipper on the other side, so we wanna make sure that we get it over here. Pull that zipper down, make sure it's even at the top. And we're going to go ahead and go. Now, one thing is you don't want your fabric to be too close to the zipper edge and end up getting caught on the zipper. So make sure it's not too close to the zipper edge. As you're going down, move your zipper out of the way and keep going. All the way down. And then come back and forth. I'm gonna come back again and clip. And our zipper is on. Woohoo! I'm gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing to my other side. We are done with this zipper. Now, the only thing left is we have that folded over right there. So I'm gonna kind of trim. And like I said, I wanna go ahead and just kind of burn it a little bit. That way it doesn't fray on me. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You could have first like serged that edge right there, and then that's how you did it. I'm gonna do both. I didn't trim this one yet. I'm gonna have to do another match because I didn't trim the other one yet. But anyway, you see, you just kind of burn it right there so it's nice and straight and not all weird. And our zipper is on. Fix that a little bit. Got a little notch right there because I didn't use tape on the other side like I should have. But there it is. Our zipper is on. Now that our bodice is done, we're gonna focus on our bottoms. And we're essentially going to be doing the same thing that we did with our bodice. We're going to be building this puzzle together. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our liner, and we're gonna match up right sides together, those edges, those side edges, and your bottom edge. And we're gonna sew those together. So we're gonna go ahead and get our liner ready. If you're not gonna color block your bottoms, I did do these bottoms not color blocked over on the other sewing tutorial, but also if you just skip the part where we're going to do the color blocking and start after I have already color blocked, it is the same steps after that. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew this on the sides and on the bottom on my serger in a minute, and I'll just do it all together. I'm gonna go ahead and set up my pattern pieces together for my sides. So I've got the bottoms. This is the top, outer back C top, and then outer back, outer front, outer back, outer. So we're working on the back right now. So if I'm working on the back, I gotta grab both that are back, and here's my bottoms, right side up. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and pin those right sides together, right sides together, and sew right there at the raw edge. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing for the top, for the front, I'm sorry. Here's my front outer. I'm gonna put them right side up, and then here's my, this is the bottom, this is the top, right side up. This one goes this way. I wanna make sure that they're facing the right way, and then I'm gonna pin them right sides together, right sides together. And after I pin them right sides together, I'm gonna go over to my serger and sew those raw edges at the bottom, and also sew my liner together. All my little strips are sewn together and top stitched. So now we're gonna grab our front piece and our back piece, and we're gonna put them together, make sure they line up, and we're gonna attach them at those raw edges to finish up that suit. So, like to complete the bottoms. So once I attach these, then the next couple steps are gonna be the same steps that you would do if you were doing the solid option of the bikini bottoms. So let me show you another one. This is the longer one for the bikini backs, the bottoms, the back of the bottoms, and pin. And I'm gonna go ahead and sew those open, and then if you want to top stitch, you can. I probably won't top stitch that part just because I don't want any extra seams. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew those together at the raw edges, and then we're gonna put the liner, and then we're gonna put them together, and then we'll stuff the liner and the outer and elastic, and we'll be done with those. So I did end up top stitching around the whole thing when I sew them together. So now I'm gonna grab my front and my back, and I'm going to match them up right here at those raw edges on the sides, and then at the bottom. And I'm going to sew those raw edges together to put my bikini bottom outer together. My bottoms are sewn together at all the seams. This is like a really cute retro bathing suit. Then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my liner, and I'm gonna put it wrong side out inside my outer. That way, just like we did our top, we want those seams trapped between the two of them. So we're going to go ahead and pin all the way around, matching wrong sides together of your suit outer and your suit liner. And then we're gonna go over to the sewing machine and top stitch with a zigzag stitch those two things together. We are almost done with our bottoms. Now what we're gonna do is I wanna go ahead and fold it in half, and I'm going to quarter my waist and my legs. We're gonna do both of them at the same time. So I'm gonna quarter my waist. I folded it in half. Here's my side seams, and so here's my back and my front, and my side seams are my sides. And then I'm gonna do my legs. I'm going to go from the seam on the side to the front, and then match up the seam on the side to the front, and then go to the sides. And then I'm gonna do the same for the other leg hole. And then for my elastic, I'm gonna go ahead and grab them and put them right on top of each other, 1/4 inch, and zigzag stitch them together. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that for all 3 of them as well. Now that my elastic has been sewn up, I'm going to fold them from the seam to the front and go ahead and quarter all my elastics. I'm gonna quarter and pin. Quarter and pin. This is my waistband elastic. And I'm going to, after I quarter and pin all of them, I'm going to go ahead and pin them to my suit, and I'm going to do that to the wrong side of the suit, because once we sew them on, we top stitch them on, then I'm going to when we baste them on, then I'm going to fold it down and top stitch it down. So I want to do it to the inside of my suit. So I'm going to go ahead and do match my quarters for my waistband, and then I'm going to quarter, whoops, don't catch your back, just catch your front, just one at a time. And then I'm gonna do my other elastic for my legs as well. So we can go ahead and do them all at once. Now that they are all pinned, we're gonna go over to our sewing machine and top stitch, or baste them on with a stretch stitch. Once I'm done attaching that elastic to my waistband and my leg holes, I'm gonna grab that waistband and leg holes, and I'm gonna fold that elastic right over down on itself like so. And I'm gonna go around and top stitch on top all the way around my waistband and all the way around my legs. You can use any kind of stretch stitch on it, double needle, cover stitch. I'm gonna go ahead and use my cover stitch, and we'll be done. We are done. They are completed. Super, super cute. And I don't know why we were so scared about this pattern, because it really wasn't that scary at all once we take it step by step, was it? No, it wasn't. I love it. I think it is super cute. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions about anything that I did. Check out our other part of this tutorial if you're doing the other version. So if you have any questions, go ahead and check that one out as well. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please comment, like, share, subscribe so that you never miss out on any of our other videos. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.